Hey, it's another episode of the Weekly Sip with Ben Enns, and the eagle-eyed viewers will notice that something's different today. And it's not just that we're filming in Needham. We got John with us today.
Hi there, Tim. It's good to be able to join you today, and it's nice to be able to sit in for Kara and to be able to talk about today's featured wine.
Yeah, and today's featured wine is Pesquié, edition 1912. 1912 is kind of neat because it's not the year, obviously. It's the elevation. It's the elevation in a region, the South Alps in France.
Cool.
Tell us about the wine.
Absolutely. So the appellation here is Ventoux. It's where basically the crossroads where the Southern Rhone Valley meets Provence. It's a bit of a kind of an anomaly environmentally in the sense that you have Mont Ventoux, which is the largest mountain in southern France and part of the Alps, has created, at the time of the Ice Age, a bowl or an amphitheater that's created this area that is very distinctive and unique as an agricultural area. In fact, the Romans have been first planted vines there all the way back, centuries ago. Mm. It's a UNESCO site for biodiversity, and today it's home to some of the most interesting and exciting wines coming out of the south of France today.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting area because you got the Rhone just to the southwest. You have the ocean not too far away. Mm-hmm. So you got a beautiful diurnal change every day with the winds coming in, the winds going out. The soil there is very typical southern France. Alluvial plain from the glaciers long ago, which provides rocky clay soil, which is good for the vines, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that's distinctive about this area in terms of, from a grape growing perspective is as you work your way up from the valley up into the foothills of Mont Ventoux, the soils become very heavily oriented limestone. Mm. And limestone tends to provide a good amount of acidity and lift to wines. So these wines, which are made from Chateau Pesquié's higher elevation vineyards, have a brightness and refreshing quality to them that is distinctive from other wines made from vineyards further down in the valley itself.
So we're talking a wine that's 70% Grenache and 30% Syrah.
With a little splash of Carignan and Cinsault.
Love a little splash.
Just I think to kind of call back to the to its the neighbors over in Provence.
Interesting. Well, here we go.
Hey. So I've actually worked with these wines for well over 20 years. Back in the late 90s, had worked with the importer all throughout my time at the wholesale level, brought them here into Massachusetts, and they've been a fixture. Both the red, white, and rosé Cuvée de Terrasse, which are Chateau Pesquié's entry-level wines, have been a fixture at Ben Enns really from day one. So yeah. I'm actually really excited to be able for Ben Enns to be able to introduce this new cuvée, this new addition to the Pesquié portfolio here into Massachusetts.
Do we have other wines from this region in the store? Is this the only one right now from the Ventoux region?
At the moment, this is the only Ventoux selection we have. We've had a couple on occasion over the years, but to be very candid, Chateau Pesquié is like the benchmark producer for the region.
Nice.
So look at that.
That is inky dark.
Yeah.
Maybe call that ruby red. I think it's a little bit darker than that.
Almost blueberry notes.
Yeah. Yep.
And when you kind of twirl it in the glass a little bit, you'll see the legs kind of suggesting that kind of viscosity coming from the ABV. Yep, absolutely. The nose is really fresh. It's got like bursting with black fruit, fruit notes.
Yep. And to be fair, we just opened this wine about 10 minutes ago, but it is showing fantastic out of the bottle.
Yeah, well, it's that nose just immediately takes you right to the Rhone Valley, the Grenache and the Syrah.
Yep.
And then as soon as you take a sip of it, it just boom.
Yeah,
It just
it's a
blows
huge wine,
right up.
actually. I wasn't expecting
Mhm.
such a massive wine. Usually, my experience, French wines are a little more subdued.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
this thing is a flavor powerhouse.
Exactly.
But the flavors are not all concentrated in one flavor. You
Mhm.
have a lot of flavor there. You've
Sure.
got different flavors across the entire palate, which is a fun wine to drink,
Absolutely.
in my opinion.
Yeah. You get the brightness and the refreshing acidity up front. Then as soon as you get to the mid palate, you get these notes of blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, plum, all kind of coming at you in a really kind of super deep mid palate.
And there's
And
some
then-
greenery there. Really, maybe it's just my allergies today, but there's like a greenery in the back of the tongue.
Yeah,
It's still sort of there.
It's that slight herbaceous garrigue quality that's
Yeah.
very typical of Southern Rhone wines. That just adds an extra layer of complexity to them. And
Yeah.
then the finish here is just really
Easy.
extensive
Yeah.
and quite long, and you get that finish without this wine being kind of over the top in terms of tannin.
Yeah,
and,
I wouldn't-
and grip.
I agree. It's not a truly grippy wine at
Mhm.
all. You know,
Yeah.
it finishes strong, but it's a smooth finish, in my opinion.
It's a selection that you can take home, pop the cork tonight, pour it, enjoy it, and you don't have to worry really have to worry about sitting on it for any length of time.
No,
It's just ready to go.
it's ready to go. Let's talk price. So we're at $16.80 a bottle,
Mm-hmm.
which is a phenomenal deal. And then if we're doing a 6-pack, we're down to $14 a bottle.
Exactly. So market price on this would be 21. At this point, it's really nowhere else in the market. We're just launching it for here for Massachusetts, but you'll regularly see it for around 21. 16.80 will be our regular single bottle price, and then the 6-pack price, which we're working with right at the moment, gets it all the way down to $14, 33% off, which is killer
Phenomenal
for this
deal.
wine. Yeah, absolutely.
Again, I always say this in the videos, but it drinks like a much higher price wine. And that's just down to how John chooses the wines to bring in the store. A lot of people don't know that you and the team taste everything.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what separates us from a lot of other shops out there.
I agree.
Whether they be big box stores or supermarkets or any number of more traditional package stores. We have a commitment to making certain that we, myself and our staff, have a chance to taste the wines ahead of time, and we can put our full seal of approval on them.
We do. It's really the best part of the job.
Yeah. And and what's nice about a wine like this is not only does it get our seal of approval, but it also gets the seal of approval of some of the most notable critics and wine writers that specialize in the Rhone Valley. So Jeb Dunnick, whose Rhone Report really kind of set the standard for kind of reviewing wines from the Rhone Valley over the last decade or so, along with the Robert Parker's Wine Advocate, have each reviewed the selection with enthusiastic buy this now, and supporting 91 point ratings. So hey,
it's a good wine.
I'd give it 92 personally. I think 91 was a little bit short, but that's just me. I'm a little enthusiastic about it. Anyway,
this is going to do it for this week's episode of Weekly Sip. It was great to have John in front of the camera, and we'll do this maybe more often.
Cool. Yeah, Tim, thank you very much for having me.
Of course. And we have this bottle available for you today in both Braintree and Needham. We'll be tasting this bottle on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week. Come on in, have a sip on us, and walk out with a few bottles for your collection.
Cheers.
That's it. Thank you.